Hi everybody in Artray and Desert Crate. David has asked us to come on and share our lockdown experience. This might be a familiar face for some of you in Artray, but for those that don't know us, my name's Stevie Allen and this is my wife Hannah.
Hi.
And for some, lockdown may have been a quite quiet and lonely time, but for us it was the opposite, because we introduced this little rascal into the world. This is baby Tommy, and he's the best boy.
Tommy was born on the 16th of March, weighing 8 pounds 6 ounces. He settled really well into family life. Hopefully we'll be out of church very soon to introduce you all to him. Take care everybody and stay safe, and see you all very soon.
Bye bye.
Bye.
See you soon. Bye bye.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Kerry and I'm from Artray. I'm missing you all and best wishes.
Hello everybody, my name is Victor. I attend Artray Church. I used to live out at Knockin Row, but when my parents died 16 years ago, I moved in here to the town. I hope you're all, I've been at Artray for all of my life, and I hope you're all getting over this lockdown and you're all keeping well. So take care everybody and keep yourselves safe. Remember, keep washing your hands and keep your distance from everybody.
Hello and welcome back, and thank you so much for taking time to join us today. Thank you to Victor, to Kerry, to Hannah and Stevie and baby Tommy for checking in with us and introducing our video today. Now today, just for a change, we decided we would record in the church hall at Artray. In a way, we're kind of going back to school, because this was the old school for the area, built in 1861 and in use as a primary school until 1931. After it was no longer being used as a school, the parish church took it over and redeveloped it as our church hall. It's a very quaint and lovely little building, and we've taken great pride in tastefully restoring it and renovating it and bringing it up to date over the years. Here's Violet with this morning's reading from Psalm 139, one of the readings for today, the 6th Sunday after Trinity.
Psalm 139. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you're there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me, and the light become night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is as light to you. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. How precious to me are your thoughts, God. How vast is the sum of them. Were I to count them, they would outnumber the grains of sand. When I awake, I am still with you. If only you, God, would slay the wicked. Away from me, you who are bloodthirsty. They speak of you with evil intent. Your adversaries misuse your name. Do I not hate those who hate you, Lord, and abhor those who are in rebellion against you? I have nothing but hatred for them. I count them my enemies. Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there's any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting.
If you love poetry, then you will love the book of Psalms. The Psalms are really old, most of them between 2,000 and 3,000 years old, written by lots of different people going through lots of different experiences, and in doing so relating to the God that they worshipped. And they relate to God quite differently, sometimes in praise, occasionally in anger, often with questions, now and then with sadness and lament whenever the questions appear to have no obvious answers. Now, some psalms have survived as poems and hymns and songs that we all know, and among the psalms in that category is Psalm 23, "The Lord is my shepherd." Here's Grace to sing a lovely version of that psalm, penned by Michael Card, Psalm 23.
For you are there with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before my enemies, my head you've anointed, my cups overflow. Your goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I'll make my home place in the house of the Lord, and I'll make my home place in the house of the Lord, and I'll make my home place in the house of the Lord.
When I was a child, I had this mental picture of what God was like. And sometimes, particularly just before I fell asleep, I would picture God of being like a policeman in the sky. Not so much, mind you, like your friendly neighbourhood copper, or not like the PSNI who work night and day to keep us safe. Rather, I had this picture in mind of God whose eyes were always watching me, knowing everything that I did, pointing the finger now and again. And on days when I was thinking bad thoughts or doing naughty things, I had this fear that God was watching in the wings like that policeman, waiting to catch me out. I remember the words of a song we sang at church that I suppose in some ways didn't help. "Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see. Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see. There's a Father up above who's looking down in love. Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see." Verse 2, "Be careful, little ears, what you hear." And verse 3, "Be careful, little lips, what you say." In some ways, that song had me terrified that God was always on my case. And yet at the same time, as a child, I had another picture of God as one who loved me, as someone who watched my back, as someone who protected me and led me and was more for me than against me. There's a collection of psalms called the Guélineau Psalms from France, and Psalm 139 is given the subtitle, "The Hound of Heaven." There's another relatively well-known poem by the English poet Francis Thompson with the same name, "The Hound of Heaven." And it's based, of course, on the thought of us running from God, but God like a hound of heaven, pursuing us, but lovingly so. Now, the thing to bear in mind about the Bible is that it is this collection of books written over a very long time from people from very different backgrounds, going into or emerging from very different experiences and in recording their thoughts of how they and God related. And that's why occasionally you have thoughts within the Bible that appear contradictory. Now, one of the readings for today is Psalm 139. And I actually love the psalm. It was written for the director of music. So it was obviously written to be sung. It's a musical psalm. And it's really all about being known by God and lovingly pursued by him. I've mentioned that childhood hymn, but there was another childhood hymn that I actually was very fond of. It was simple in structure and it had a really easy tune. And in some ways, this was the perfect bedtime hymn. God is always near me, hearing what I say, knowing all my thoughts and deeds, all my work and play. God is always near me in the darkest night. He can see me just the same as by midday light. God is always near me, though so young and small, not a look or a word or thought, but God knows it all. Those words, I'm pretty sure, were inspired by Psalm 139. This lovely psalm about the fact that God sees us, knows us, and loves us. And that hymn for me was a much more gentle and helpful take on the psalm than the idea of a hound of heaven. Now that I'm older, I read the psalm with a more grown-up perspective. I realize that God is not so much a policeman in the sky trying to trap us or trick us or catch us out, but rather he's a heavenly Father. And this psalm reminds us that we are made in his image and loved by him. And here's the real key thought in the psalm is this, that wherever we are in the world, we are never alone. There is nowhere where we can go that we are beyond the reach of his love. There's nothing that we can do that puts us beyond his mercy and his grace and his helping hand. And I find that comforting. No matter where we find ourselves, in the words of this psalm, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. It's summertime. Right now it doesn't feel like it, but it's summertime and the living is easy. And every now and again, but particularly in the summer, most of us here love to get away from it all. Last weekend, I was really fortunate to be able to escape to County Fermanagh just for a few nights. An old friend has a hunting lodge on an island not too far from Derry Lynn. And there's a great feeling of freedom, of escape, when you get into a little boat and cross the water to an island. You can flee the crowd in a boat. And if you look at the New Testament, you'll discover that Jesus needed to do that every now and again. But even though you may be able to escape the crowd, in one sense, you're never alone. There's nowhere that you can go to or run to where you are beyond the reach of God's care. And Psalm 139 reminds us of that. The writer uses word pictures to help us. You can go up to the highest heavens. You can go down to the deepest depths. You can take the wings of the morning. You can cross the sea. You can go where it's really bright, or you can go beneath the earth where it's really dark. Wherever you find yourself, you're never beyond the reach of God's love. Now, there's one part of the psalm that is probably the best known section, and it's the part of the psalm that paints this picture of a child forming in the womb. And the psalm reminds us that even there, God sees how a child is being knit together, fashioned, made in his likeness. And it uses those lovely, memorable words, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And we are, every one of us. You are, and I am. We're made with the capacity to know one another. But as well as that, Christians believe we're made with the capacity to know and respond to God, who's the author of life. The psalm reminds us of this creator God who is all-seeing, all-present, all-creative, all-knowing. We are never alone. Whether it's dark or light, whether we're in a crowd, preferably socially distanced and wearing a mask, whether we're on an island and away from it all, whether you're soaring above the clouds in a 737 or down a pothole in a cave, you're never beyond the reach of God's love. And I think That's a really good thought to hold on to when you waken and at night when the evening falls. God, you know us better than we know ourselves. You know our thoughts, our weakness, our motivation, our struggles, and you love us still. Forgive us when we don't believe that such love is true or possible, or when we wonder how you could love us just as we are. Forgive us when we forget our intricate construction, fearfully and wonderfully made in your image. So, Lord, remove from our minds every thought which keeps us from you. Help us to trust you and you, for you know our hearts and you love us still. Amen. Thanks everyone for taking time to follow us on our YouTube channel. We're going to finish today's video with a special greeting because today, as we're recording this, Saturday the 18th of July, our eldest parishioner, Jim Warnock, is 101 years old and he wants to send his greetings. We also want to send Jim our very best love and best wishes from all his church family at Ardtray and Desert Crate, and to let us know the secret of living to 101. Take care everyone. God bless. Have a good week. Talk to you soon.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for all their birthday wishes on my 101st birthday. They are all very, very much appreciated.